that God bless our cherished ally, the State of Israel. God bless America.
Bomb Squad! Somebody butt hurt. I hear somebody butt hurt. Somebody butt hurt. I hear somebody butt hurt.
Feel me? The baddest man on the planet still. You know, they got to cheat me to beat me.
A friend of mine said, you know, you're the most famous man in the world. I said, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. No, he said, no, who's more famous than you? You are the most famous man in the world. What are you talking about? Who's more famous? I said, Jesus Christ.
But I can't speak on what I do know. What I do know about that is my brother had gazillion knocks at that. Not just one knock, not just two. He had a gazillion knocks in the back of his head. My thing is this: as a black man, and I'm quite sure other black people would agree with me. We just don't swell. We just don't swell automatically. We swell over a period of time. And after the fight, when you see like a whole bunch of knots that look like this in the back of your neck, and in the back of your neck, the back of your head, all up in the back of the head right here. Where did that come from? Because if it was just pads on the back of your head, you'll feel it, but you won't have knots. What are knots? different knots. The knots are like this. Knots like this. Little knots, small knots, all up and down his back and spine. But if you go back and look at the fight, what was Tyson Fury hitting him at? On his back and his spine. His back, his spine, the back of his head. Damn. I got small fucking knots in the back of my head. Not just gigantic knots. We got small, we got big, we got everything in the back of his head. You know what I mean? Back of his neck, back of his spine. I've never seen that before in a fight. Never. Right. Exactly. That's my point exactly. I wish that I can, but I'm not going to do that on air. But how can I say this? Everybody has, if I was to rub my, like I did him, you know, I rubbed my hand across it. So I truthfully know that it's there. You know what I mean? I touched it myself. I know that it's there. But if I was to do that on somebody else's face or even my face and it's not there, I know what I see. People know what they see. Your eyes, these old media people. That's the only people that's lying. You know,
that's the only people that's lying.
All they want. But it's okay. But it's okay because justice will be served, and everybody else who's including that has to pay, and it will be coming soon. I promise you. It's gonna be more than that. It's gonna be more than that. People got to pay. You know what I mean? People got to pay. And that's just the way it is, you know, like, you know, and people clown my brother Marcellus for what he said, but it's true, you know. My dad even told me the same thing. Once you got a wounded dog and you don't kill him, you should have, because when you don't, he's gonna come back and kill you.
Facts.
But what's crazy, but the crazy thing about that is, those gloves are the gloves that's real that's illegal. I forget the name of the MX. Those are the MX version of Paffin Sports. Those gloves are illegal, you know what I mean? So if the WBC signed off on that, because I think it's the Everlast MX gloves that are illegal now. So if they signed off on those, that's just as wrong as well, because those is nothing but a different brand, but those are still MX gloves.
And hang it up. Oh, the wrist is a little bit
floppy
in that glove. Okay, that's a brand new glove. Now, if you want to purchase an Everlast MX glove and hold the glove up, you'll see it has a bit of a floppy wrist. Okay, can you see that? Yeah. So
Tito Garcia, BoxingSocialist.com. What's up?
All right.
What can you tell me about Tyson Fury's antics in the ring tonight? Running around, you were talking to him a lot. What were you telling him?
Well, I warned him several times. I took a point, and in my 24 years as a pro referee, he's one of the dirtiest fights I've ever had.
That's your quote right now. Tyson Fury is one of the dirtiest fighters you've ever seen in your 24 years as a pro. What were you saying to his corner? I saw you arguing with his corner all night. It got pretty heated.
Arguing with him. What happened was the corner man came to me and said that he thought that I was favoring Cunningham because he says, "What's my problem?" I said, "No."
Well, you guys were arguing pretty hard throughout the fight.
No, we weren't arguing. We just were doing a little discussion.
What about the point you took away?
Oh, the point I took away was for numerous violations: elbow, headbutting, shoulder.
So again, that's your quote. Tyson Fury is the dirtiest fighter you've ever seen in the history of your 24 career.
Of the fights that I've had.
That fight that you've had.
And I had Andrew Glotta 3 times. Quote that.
All right, quote it.
All right.
BoxingSocialist.com, Tito Garcia.
Anyway, anytime you do something outside the boundaries and the rules of the commissions in which you're fighting for, that is considered trying to get an extra advantage. So I would consider that cheating. So yes, I would say that is out of bounds. You know, it wasn't being straight up. Yes, I would say that.
So the accusations being that Tyson Fury's fist was lower in the glove, giving him an advantage, and that there was not padding protecting his knuckles, that he could punch Deontay basically, you know, with his bare fist as opposed to the padding in the gloves. So what I would like you to do, you seem to think that was the case. So I would like for you to demonstrate to us, because the guys that we had on last time, when they showed it, they did it, but they felt it didn't give them an advantage of punching power. So I would like for you to set it up in any which way you can, okay, where your fist is not completely in the glove, where you think it would give you an advantage, and you'll demonstrate for us with the pads and also on the heavy bag the advantage that would give to you.
Well, real fast, let me clarify. The guys, I seen the Mayweather Channel thing you did at the TMT gym, and all those boxes are right. I don't think putting the glove in the ununiform way would give an fighter an advantage in necessarily punching power. remember, there are several type of advantages. The advantage can be punching power. Another advantage that people seem to keep missing is the extra reach it would give you, and that's where I have the problem with not having the glove completely in your fist. Historically, there are several fighters who put their hand in the glove and don't use the thumb and things like this to try to compact their fist to make it a harder surface when they make contact on people's heads. So it's not necessarily about if it gave Tyson Fury an advantage in punching power, because I don't think it gave him an advantage in punching power at all. But the reach, let's say if you have a 76-inch reach, you put a glove halfway on, the glove sticks out this much further. Now you have a 79-inch reach.
Would that be noticeable if you're wearing one longer than the other? Wouldn't that be kind of
It definitely would be noticeable, but you notice it on the photos of Tyson Fury. I've seen the other guys.
I mean, for one arm's longer than the other.
Yeah, definitely. But people, sometimes in the fight, you're not looking at those intricate things. But it's, to me, proven that was the case. The left hand of Tyson Fury was definitely longer than the right hand.
He and Wilder behind the ear. He's aiming for those kill points. He knows that. You know what I'm saying? He don't have power. He has to place shot. You know, Deontay Wilder doesn't have to play shot. Deontay Wilder could let them things go and catch you one of them shits, you will be hurt. Tyson Fury, to actually like tickle somebody, he would have to play shot.
Continue.
Yeah, they basically ESPN wrote people are getting behind Tyson Fury and just talking shit and not backing it up, saying Tyson Fury is some type of god power puncher and he has to prove that now in sparring or what to get confidence, or just because I was out there for 3 months and I know his systems, it could be like he can shit hasn't changed with him, and I feel like he lost a step as a fighter. He didn't get better as a fighter. He lost a step. You don't do that stuff to your body and get better as a fighter. That shit does not happen. You do not do that shit as an athlete. Let's use our brains, people. As an athlete, you do not do drugs and get better as an athlete. You don't do drugs for 10 plus years and get faster and stronger as an athlete. This shit doesn't work. And then at the top of that, he's in his late 30s. That shit don't happen.
And gain 100.
That's when I had my what is that word called? I had my suspicions. There you go. Because we were training, and I was like, Barry Robinson, we were doing these circle drills, and I had to go under Barry Robinson's hands. And then one time I went under his hands, and he hit me I went under his hands, and he hit me by the same spot I got dazed at. And I went under his hand, and I came up, and it was like everything was all off. I was like, bro, that shit is fucked up. I was like, everything was wobbly when I got touched in my head. And I was like, nope. I was like, something's fucked up. So I went in the back. I remember Tyson Fury's dumbass. He said like, oh, we're gonna put our I'm gonna put our sparring gear together. It was the same day that the ESPN and all them people were there. And so I go there and go in the back, and I'm looking at my gloves. I'm like, damn, dude, I'm looking at my gloves. I'm looking at everybody's gloves in the back. I see Tyson Fury's stuff. I'm like, I see his stuff, and I'm like, dude, this dude is open palm and stopping people. I'm like, so I grab his glove, and I'm like, and then and then the shit just starts falling out this motherfucking glove. You know, in cartoons when they grab like somebody's pants, like put them upside down, and just dangerous shit falls out their pockets. That's exactly how this shit was. And like she just started falling out this motherfucker's glove, and then I was like this, and I was like literally like, and I go outside to the rest of the people to show Ben Davison, Brian Phillips was there too in camp. Lawrence Okolie was there. I go out there and show them, like, look at this. They're like, what in the fuck? And I don't know, like now I'm starting to have my discretions about Lawrence Okolie because I don't know if he knew something about it already, because Anthony Joshua knows about this shit and he's not saying shit. But him and Tyson Fury are getting ready to fight a 2-fight deal after he fights Wilder, which is kind of funny. If I spoil the pudding, oh well. But like fucking like that's how like they're trying to like set up. Like I felt like they were trying to set up. Like I showed Lawrence Okolie and like he's like, oh, I'm getting on the phone talking with Anthony Joshua. Now, let me mind you, if you think the great Anthony Joshua knows about this shit, because Lawrence Okolie's he's managed by Lawrence Okolie's managed by Anthony Joshua, and he called him right in front of me. And Anthony Joshua knows about this shit, but he ain't saying shit. But him and Tyson Fury getting ready to fight a 2-fight deal. So I guess Tyson Fury's just coming over to US and just fucking people up. You know what I'm saying? Just fucking fighters up.
Remember Anthony Joshua?
100%, 100,050%. Anthony Joshua knows that Tyson Fury tampered with his gloves in sparring. And then after that, I talked to I'm having a conversation. I'm like, man, fuck this shit. I'm like, we don't call Ben right away. We just all make videos. We all made videos with the gloves. Like, and I don't know why Lawrence Okolie didn't drop his video, but we all made videos with the gloves saying like, oh yeah, like these fucked up ass gloves of Tyson Fury and shit like that. And then after that happens, call Ben. Ben's like, what are you talking about? The gloves are tampered with. And mind you, I still don't have fucking food. It's like day 3, day 4, day 3 or some shit. And I'm like, bro, man, like, and they still like, and I'm sparring this man, training with them, and they still don't pay me. And then I'm like, yo, bro, yeah, these gloves are fucked up. I'm going home. Like, what are you talking about? You're speaking rubbish. You think we tamper with gloves? I'm like, at first, I'm like, no, you guys, I don't want to be. I still want my money, but I was like, y'all didn't really tamper with it, whatever. Tyson Fury, some horrible work. Deontay Wilder's going to knock his ass out. But I didn't say all that. But I was like, like, can I get my money at least or whatever? Like, because I'm about to leave. And they're like, oh, no, we didn't tamper with the gloves. And then I'm like, then in my head, I'm like, fuck it, just tell them. Like, you guys fuck with these fucking gloves because ain't no way in hell I put on gloves all my life. Like, I've been boxing for 10 years. I haven't even been boxing for as long as Tyson Fury's been boxing, but I know if I put on a pair of gloves that are flip-floppy, I know when I put on a pair of gloves that are fucked up because I know when I need to buy a new pair of gloves when basically they're fucked up. And so these gloves had no padding in them, and I was like, you guys took out the padding. There was literally, like, I took the laces, the Prolocks, I opened them all the way up, and I saw there was like a slit inside there, and then you could put your whole hand in there, and then there was like a little pocket in there. And then I went to the another green gloves inside there, the gloves that Isaac Lowe was using. I dumped his gloves out and an egg weight fell out the motherfucker. I didn't even know what an egg weight was at the time. I like saw this. I was like, dude, what the fuck is this, bro? I was like, what is these niggas do? Like, bro, I was like, dude, it was like an egg weight with like, it was wrapped in like rubber so you could like slide your fingers in it or whatever. I was like, dude, what? I never seen them. I was like, dude, this is illegal. So I was like, bro, what is this? And they were like, damn. Like Brian Phillips and all everybody, they just start laughing. They're like, I can't believe this. And then come to find out Isaac Lowe,
need to be concerned because of where you're going in your career, your manager should know about stuff like this because you really got to get your, I'm sorry to be a dick, but you got to get your manager on board with the entire thing because the entire camp, what kind of gloves he wears, like this is your manager's job to protect you. Like I'm supposed to protect you too, but what am I going to say to them? Hey guys, Tyson shouldn't have those gloves, it's unsafe. Barry, get the fuck out of camp.
Me too. I'll go home.
Yeah, but
this. I've done enough. Yeah,
bro, not only these gloves beat up, you can like I can tell. No, I can tell.
They pushed
that
this to the front.
Beating these gloves up on a wall or something. No, you can see that from here.
I can't believe that. But I personally,
I'm shocked. This does shock me. Like it doesn't shock me,
bro. I can't do it.
It shocks me.
No, but I don't.
No, don't hear you.
This is Tyson's shit, and these are his bag, his sparring gloves that we've been sparring with. As you can see, there's no fucking padding in here, and all the padding's in the back of his fucking glove. Look at that shit. I could touch my other side of my finger with this shit. And there's shit falling out from the middle of the glove. Does he know who the fuck I am? He must not know, does he? Does he? What? Oh, he does not know. Look at this shit, man. And then, hold on, these are the sparring gloves they told me they got from me. These thick ass, look at, hold on, let's see, watch the squeeze. Going nowhere. Going nowhere. Watch this shit. Get the fuck out of here, dude.
Your take on there's a lot of controversy right now surrounding the Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder second fight with Tyson Fury's gloves and the video footage that's been released. What's your take on that? Do you think there's substance behind the suspicion of Tyson Fury's gloves?
Yeah. So like you said, I did do another interview on this and spoke on it. I'm just in a unique situation where I've been in gyms here in the Detroit area where I've witnessed coaches teaching and putting their gloves on fighters. It's a method that's taught to put the glove on looser and keep it the fist down towards the wrist area of the glove so that you're actually hitting with the bare knuckle, or not the bare knuckle, but more in the wrist area where the padding isn't.
Right.
I just know from personal experience that that's a taught method. It's an old school method. I know that it's not the most well-known thing in the game. Not saying that other people don't have great experience with other things, but I don't know if it's a thing that is more particular for where I'm from, because Tyson Fury has trained towards the beginning of his pro career here in Detroit, Michigan. So I don't know if it's more particular from where I'm from that guys teach it, and that it's more of an old school thing here in Detroit. But I just have the experience to know that wasn't an accident, that wasn't a situation where it just, I've heard a lot of situations where people are speculating, saying that, the glove just got wet and it was flapping and, he was just flicking his jab so it was coming loose. But I know well enough to know that was very purposeful. I could even see the way that he was throwing the punch. I was even seeing the way that he was throwing the punch. I could see him turning his fist in on the wrist.
Right.
Almost to make sure that it was just very, it was a thought out thing that they decided to do. I just am in a position to know that. I know that things like that. Look, if something is off, and even people who are saying that they don't think that was a intentional move by the team. If something's off, a lot of it's just the eye test too. If you tell something is wrong, if you can tell that something is different than what we normally see, then it probably is. Not a lot of things are accidental in this game. You know, people do what they can to get an edge in the ring. That's something that's gone back, you know, for as long as sport's been around. People have been, you know, doing things to get slight edges in the ring.
Right.
So, but I just happen to be in a position where I know that, and I've witnessed being in Detroit, seeing coaches put their gloves on their fighters that way and explaining it and talking about it. It's a well-known tactic, at least where I'm from. And I always knew to look out for it. My coach always knew to look out for it if we were fighting a guy. And where my learning experience came from with the situation was I fought a guy as an amateur who had his gloves on like that. And I remember being hit and thinking that it felt harder than usual. When we went back and watched the tape, we saw that the gloves were flapping and that he had the hands on like that. Well, it wasn't until later times when we were, you know, in gyms when we saw somebody doing that consistently and putting the gloves on their fighters that way that we realized that it was a tactic.
I'd like to welcome you all to Q City World. Today we talking about Deontay Wilder. Was it a difference in the way he looked in the first fight from the way he looked in the second fight? Now the second fight is on the left and the first fight is on the right. You feel me? When they took the mask off, did you notice a difference? Deontay Wilder look like he's possessed or something, man. Look at him, man. You dig what I'm saying? All right, now look when they do this. Now look how you do at the end. Look at this nigga. Look at that face, man. My nigga was fucked up, man. You know what I mean? So nigga went in the corner. You know, he fucked up, man. You know what I mean? He like, man, give me some eye drops. You got some water? I ain't feeling good, but I think the nigga had coronavirus or something, man. Look, they say it's in your eyes. You know what I mean? This is, hey, Wilder wasn't right, man. He was fucked up, man. He was fucked up, man. He wasn't the same guy he normally is. Head down. He did his face like that, bro. You know he was faking, man. I thank you guys for coming to Q City World, man. It's been a blast. Peace.
Another guy that I really like and that I'm so pissed off at that he lost, Deontay Wilder. Great guy.
Yeah. Do you think that at age 34, does he need to change things, or is it just a matter of him refocusing and getting back into the next phase?
It's going to be refocusing, but he's only going to win. He's only going to beat this big guy. He's only going to beat Tyson Fury if he does what Tyson Fury is doing. That's the only way he's going to do it, which means he's got to take some steroids and he's got to do some growth hormone, because that's exactly what that guy was on. And I don't give a shit what anybody says. That's a fat jack. And you just cannot.
Why do you think that's true? You just feel it?
Oh my God. He does drugs his whole life. You know, this is going to make him a better boxer. It's going to make him a tougher, stronger. And, you know, of course he's going to take that stuff. He was hanging out with some bodybuilders that I know that are very high-end bodybuilders. You know, he was hanging out with them at the fights. So, I mean, it's a no-brainer. And you know, I literally even tried to get in touch with Deontay after the fight and to tell him, you know, I'm still waiting on his call, or I want to try to talk to some of his people, because he's not going to win against that guy when that guy's jacked up the way he is. It's almost impossible. It's a good guy, a good fighter, Tyson Fury, good fighter, Deontay Wilder, good fighter. But now, when you add in all that stuff, you add in all those growth hormones. Oh my God, he was a beast. You know, he felt like a king. He came in on a throne. that goes to show you, like, he felt like a king. When you take that stuff, I've never done growth hormone. I've been friends with plenty of guys who did it and told me that, Vinny, it's unbelievable. It regrows your body. You feel like a monster. You feel great. Every muscle is added to the muscle that you already have. You know, I got guys that, you know, do it religiously, and I can see the difference in their body and their emotions and their movement and their thought process. And
so do you feel that somehow he masked it for the test that he took? Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely. Oh my God, yes. And they even said something about it after. Like, there was something said about it that Tyson Fury didn't want to do the test. Something's not right there.
Hey, what's up? It's Cunningham here. Here to quickly demonstrate what you're looking at in the Tyson Fury video with the gloves. They seem to be flopping. His hands seem to not be in them. I believe they're not in them. I'm going to demonstrate that. Fight gloves. See how soft they are, all right? Also, we see the video, we see the picture, or what started me off was the picture. I let this stuff go on for about a week and before I said anything because I thought it was bull. But then I really looked and I saw the video and you're seeing the glove flop back. You're seeing it flop back. It's even hard to do it right now. But in the picture, the glove is about like here.